Okay, so today we're going to look at section 5.5, inequalities and systems of inequalities in two variables. So we're going to be graphing an inequality or linear inequality in two variables. First thing to do is graph the related equation. That is, replace the inequality sign with an equal sign and graph the line represented by the equation. Two things to take into account. If the inequality is strict, stated with the symbol less than or equal than or greater than, then draw the line as a dashed line indicated that the line is not part of the solution set. So if there's no equal, use a dotted line or a dashed line. The inequality is stated with a less than equal to than or greater than equal to, then draw the line as a solid line to indicate that the line is part of the solution set. Then it says to choose a test point from either side of the line, not a point on the line itself, and substitute the ordered pair into the inequality. If a true statement results, then shade the region, that half of the plane from which the test point is taken. If a false statement results, then shade the region or half plane on the opposite side. So let's look at this. How does this work? Start simple. 4x minus y greater than 3. So first step is simply to turn this into a line. 4x minus y equals 3. Note this is strictly greater than, so we'll be using a dotted line. So now we just need to plot some points. And if you're lazy, well, no, let's not do that. So let's see what happens here. So when x is 0, y is -3. I would use y as 0, but it's going to be a fraction, so let's not bother. What happens when x is 1? We get 4. We get -1. What happens when x is 2? We get 8. We get -5. That's not -3. That's just 3. So now we can graph our points. 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, -1, and 2. Oh, wait, that is -3. So it appears that my math is wrong. So when this is x is 1, I have 4, which is -1, so y is 1. Then here I have 8, which makes this -5, which makes y 5. So I was running backwards. So we have 0, -3, we have 1, 1, and we have 2, 5. And again, dotted line. It's almost straight. So now we need to find a test point. Now, I like the origin because the math is easy. So if the origin is not on the line or not close to the line, just use it. So we have 4 times 0 minus 0. Is that greater than 3? Is 0 greater than 3? Is not. So that means we shade the opposite side. Okay. That wasn't too rough now, was it? Okay. So what about something like this one? 2y is greater than or equal to 5x. Well, again, here we have solid line. We can go 2y equals 5x or y equals 5 halves x. Find us some points. X is 0, y is 0. X is 2, y is 5. If x is -2, y is -5. And we're using a solid line here. Now here we cannot use our origin because it is on the line. We know for a fact. However, I can use this simple point here, 1, 0, which is, okay, test point is 1, 0. So 2 times 0, is that greater than or equal to 5 times 1? Is 0 greater than or equal to 5? No. So I'm shading this point, this side. Okay, some easier ones here. Might see something like this. 2y is less than 6. So 2y equals 6, y equals 3. Graphing this. Oops, dotted line. Be careful. Dotted line. So if I put 0 in here, is 0 less than 6? Yes, so here. Dotted line at y equals 3. Or I could have x equal, or x is greater than or equal to 2/3. Again, simply x equals 2/3. That's my line. I have equal, so I'm a solid. And it's greater than, so is 0 greater than 2/3? No, so we're going this side. Special cases. Okay, so let's go back and let's use this one. Okay, and that was strictly greater than. So let's look at this. What was it? 4x minus y greater than 3. 4x minus y greater than 3. Let's solve for y. Now I can bring y over here and subtract 3. Now I have y is, so rewriting this as y is less than 4x minus 3. So if we go to our calculator, this is where this gets neat. Go to your y equals. Punch in 4x plus, or 4x minus 3. Now looking at your calculator, you should have what looks like a dotted line at an angle, then y1, then equals 4x minus 3. Move your cursor to this part, just using the arrow. Okay, your cursor is going to stop at the equal, but this will start blinking. Now we're looking for y is less than. So we actually do want that because it's basically that triangle. If you look, you can hit your enter button. Oh, wait, there it is. Hit the enter button and you will get the triangle down below like that eventually. Once you have that, graph it. And you'll have your line and then you'll have your shading. So you can actually use your calculator to solve these. Okay, one more thing to look at. Let's see. Or a couple more things to look at So let's look at this. Y is less than 1/2 x plus 1, and negative 2x plus y is less than or equal to 1. So here we've got 2. So here's how this is done by hand. We take the first one and again change it to equal. Keeping in mind it's strictly less than, so we'll use a dotted line when we graph this. Plug in values. X is 0, y is 1, x is 2, y is 3, x is 4, or 2, x is 2, y is 2, x is 4, y is 3. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3. Zero, 1, 2 is 1, 2, 4 is 2 plus 3. Yeah. So this is our line. Oops. Be careful. Dash line, dash line. Okay, here we can test 0, 0. Is 0 less than 0 plus 1? It is. So for this particular one, we're looking at this side. Okay, now let's look at our second equation here. I have y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. Again, I can plot some points. X, y. 0, I have 1. X is 1, I have 3. X is 2, I have 5. So I have 0, 1, I have 1, 3, I have 2, 5. This equal to, so I'm using a solid line, something like that. And then plug in the point. Can I use 0, 0? Looks like it. Yeah, 0, 0 is not on there. So is 0 less than this? It is. So in this case, I'm doing this part for that. And the intersection of those two areas is my solution. Solution. Okay. This has nonlinear. We're not going to deal with those. And let me keep this in mind. And this, because we're going to come back to that one, I believe. Skill practice number 7. And then we're going to look at that problem in a different light. A family plans to spend, oh, wait a minute. Yes, application. A family plans to spend 2 8-hour days at Disney World and will split time between Magic Kingdom and Epcot Center. Let X represent hours at Magic Kingdom and Y Epcot Center. So we have a total number of hours of 16 hours, 2 8-hour days. Set up 2 inequalities that indicate the number of hours spent at Magic Kingdom and the number of hours spent at Epcot. Well, greater than or equal to 0, right? And Y greater than or equal to 0. And then we have part B says, set up an inequality that indicates the combined number of hours spent at the 2 parts is at most 16. So X plus Y must be less than or equal to 16. Now graph the solution set. Now this is interesting. There's a whole another division of mathematics based on this stuff. I took 2 semester courses in grad school strictly on this. So let's graph these three equations real quick. So this first one, x is greater than or equal to 0. So that simply means this half, right? And then y is greater than or equal to 0. So that means we're in here. So essentially, we're dealing with just quadrant 1 as it's known. That's what these first two equations do. So now when x is 0, y is 16, and when y is 0, x is 16. And basically this is our line, and this is our area. Again, this is an introduction. If you go to pre-calculus algebra, you'll do a little bit more of that. So let's go back to this here. What was that? Y is less than 1/2 x plus 1, and y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. So essentially, let's plug these into our calculator. So I have 0.5x plus 1, and I want that less than. We have 2x plus 1, and I want that as less than also. Actually less than or equal. And okay, that's less than. Okay, that wasn't right. So I'm just saying leave it as less than and graph it. So you can use your calculator in case you have difficulty figuring out which section is the solution. You can also pick a suspected point, a point in the suspected area. Say again, we think 0, 0 is in both of them, and test it and see. But that gets a little complex, but you can actually plug this into your calculator and see it. So that's all I have on section 5.5. This is the last section. So I would say get ready for your exam 3, and the study guide recording should be posted as well. Have a good night.